still. Really. On the topic of Reiss Nelson, apologies as I make another timestamp and try to do this thing. On Reiss Nelson, I might sound mad. I think his future is on the right or the left wing, people. I think that's him. I do think he can play in the 10. But hear me out, yeah. I'm not saying he must do this, but hear me out, people. Remember Arsene Wenger when Reiss Nelson first initially got his chances, predominantly in Europa League, he played him as a wing back, yeah. I remember that season, in the same way I was positively surprised with Joe Willock playing in a more withdrawn role, them times there in Europa League. Same went for Reiss Nelson. And I think that wing-back role, he looked decent in it, and he has improved defensively. If I'm Reiss, I want to be playing as a winger. The club still believe in his credentials, clearly, because he's still at the club. Could it be worth Reiss Nelson learning how to play fullback or given an opportunity? Because he's done well. If you remember a couple of years ago in that wing-back role, he can get forward. Obviously he's not getting opportunity here. Could Reiss Nelson do a wing-back role, people? Or am I bugging out? It could happen. He can cross the ball. He can go past a man. So with the modern-day requirements of a fullback, he can do that. And, not to say he's a failure there, but you look at Wamba, Saka, you look at Bellerin, it hasn't quite happened for them, man, in the senior game, or it wasn't looking like it was going to happen. And they've changed their style of play for the better. And at least just for me, Reiss Nelson could very much well be a winger and have a future as that. But in terms of game time and getting game time, playing fullback could be beneficial. And if we're honest, is there any real difference when playing fullback and on the wings in this Arsenal formation, or how you should play? Beyond the obvious, you obviously have to defend first and foremost, people. I don't know. I think it could be worth playing him in that role. I just hope he takes his chances, man. I think he's a very exciting player. I think Smith Rowe's an exciting player as well. But it's just down for them to take their chances and keep developing. They've got the technical ability, but have they got the right temperament? Can they display the right consistency levels? How do they react to adversity? Can the manager put his trust in them on a match day? They're all probably going to have to hold up Europa League and be content with the Europa League initially, but things can change very quickly in football. And I won't say it's last chance saloon, but I'd say for Smith Rowe, who's been name dropped by Arteta, and Reiss Nelson, who he loves, and Joe Willock and Eddie, who's developing, it's time to take your chances. And for Eddie Nketiah, he said he wants more of his Arsenal career. I like to hear that. That's just pure hunger from him, people, really and truly. So let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes. But I really think it could be worth Reiss Nelson getting game time as a fullback as well. I think he can play a number of roles. And either way, it would help him if he moved back to the flanks, because he'd have a greater appreciation defensively, and he'd have a greater appreciation of how to anticipate a fullback's movements, having, got a little run out there. And, the more games you play, the better you get, people, just as an individual. It's that simple, really. Like, it's really and truly that simple and that basic, really. Like, it's not hard at all, really and truly. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, people. We really have to see what happens. I want to know, how long was I actually talking? I've messed it up, people. How long was I talking? Let's say 42. Should we say 30 minutes to 40? Should we say 39? Yeah, let's go with that. Should Reiss Nelson be given a chance at right wing back? Hopefully that was the right one. As you can see, people, I'm trying to think, man. StreamYard gives you the opportunity to do it, so why not? You're all right, man. Potentially he is just as versatile. He probably is just as versatile. I would say Saka's a bit more versatile, because I know Reiss Nelson can play in these roles. In fact, that could be a good one. Who's more versatile? Before I do this, sorry, my guy, you've asked a good one about. You've said Nelson is just as versatile as Saka, and I mean, on the face of it, you could say, yeah, my guy. Saka can play in the 10 role. Saka can play on the right. Saka can play on the left. Saka can play at fullback, and I've seen Nelson play right wing back. In the academy, I've seen him excel at the 10 in the 10 position, as well as playing either side on the flanks and play really well. So on paper, I guess you could say that. I would say Saka is more versatile than Nelson, just because of him first and foremost, he's excelled in all of these positions in the first team, and he's played it to a greater IQ. And I think the one thing that separates Reiss Nelson and Saka, despite the fact Saka is younger than him, is Saka's decision making and his maturity in that. and also his temperament. You can see Reiss Nelson's more of a confidence player than Saka, you know. And I think the way Saka reacts to making a mistake or making an error when things don't go his way is more positive than Nelson. Nelson looks like he can beat himself up around it, which, you know, you've got to forgive yourself. I really believe in Nelson. You know, I'm going to keep banging Reiss Nelson's praises until he departs this club, if he departs this club. I still think he's got a big future here. But I think Saka is more versatile